Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Oh, Shane Drummer, you saw him Saturday. You saw him Saturday. You saw him.
The big penguin?
Hey, did you see him take flight?
He scored 0 points in the fourth quarter, and you're out here raving about the big penguin? Did you see what the Clippers did last night? They made 21 of 42 threes. They are running away with the NBA three-point shooting at 42% as a team. They are on pace to set the all-time record for offensive efficiency in the NBA, and nobody wants to talk about them, and that's fine.
Exactly.
Let's not say one word today about the Clippers, and I am happy.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, who did they play last night?
I know.
Who
Can we
did they
not
play
bring
last
up
night?
Minnesota
like Jenny's
right now?
team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Don't throw Jenny under the bus.
That win doesn't help you all out right now, Skip. Okay, I love the energy. We have so much to catch on. We're going to begin with the latest surrounding KD because only a week after returning from a hamstring injury, Kevin Durant left yesterday's game against the Heat with a thigh contusion in the first quarter. But it was an appearance on a podcast over the weekend that generated even more buzz. Where KD named his top 5 teammates he has ever played with. Kyrie, Harden, Steph, and Clay were quick to be named, and then Durant went with Serge Ibaka to round out the list. Then the host pointed out that Russell Westbrook was left off, at which point KD immediately said that of course Russ is on it and that he was, quote, tripping. So, Shannon, how significant was it that he initially forgot Russ here?
Skip, I don't really think it was an accident. Now, you can't be upset at this man's list, who he had on it. But I think it's Skip, if somebody asks you, Skip, name me your 5 favorite food, and they're like, Skip, you didn't have broccoli, and you said you like broccoli all the time, or you didn't have chicken breast.
Oh, I forgot.
I think, Skip, now, he has an outstanding list, and I didn't realize it until I looked at it. Skip, do you realize Kevin Durant has played with 3 MVP players in their absolute prime? No other NBA player can boast that, have that on their resume. Said, I played with 3 NBA MVPs in their prime. Not getting the guy skipping year 19, year 18. I'm talking about in their prime. Skipping when I was like, okay, it's not a bad list. He had an outstanding list now. But I'm like, wow. Steph probably like, oh, I got 2 MVPs. I changed the game forever. I got 3 chips, and I'm 3rd. But Russ has to be disappointed, Skip. And I think I don't think this is a very slight oversight. You played 8 years. Now, Russ and Serge came in the exact same year, but Serge spent his first year overseas, Skip. You played 8 years with Russ. You played 3 with Steph. This is your first year with Kyrie. I'm not counting, Skip, the NBA, the Olympic team. I'm not counting that. This is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, I think he played 4 years with James Harden, 3 in OKC, and this is his first year here, so 4 years. So you played basically double the time with Russ than you played with James, and also when you played with Kyrie. And Skip, you remember Serge, but you don't remember Russ? Skip, that was just, if you want to say Batman and Robin, that was Batman and Robin. KD, you were Batman. Obviously, Russ didn't want to be caught, but if you want to say 1A, 1B, Serge was what? 2C? 2, 3? And you said you remember Serge, but you didn't remember Russ. And the host had to bring it to your attention, and you said, oh, yeah, I'm tripping?
I'm tripping.
Skip, I mean, how am I going to say, should I name your teammates? Let's see. Elway, let's see, Terrell Davis, this one. Shannon, you played in Baltimore. You didn't mention Ray. Oh, yeah, man, I'm tripping, man. You're right. Man, you're right. Ray. And since I forgot Ray, what? I'm gonna put him 3rd on the list because he had Klay Thompson. So now Skip. So what he did is that he said, you know what? Instead of putting Russ at 5th, I'm gonna put him at 4th. Skip, it seems to me that, and you talked about this, that KD felt that he could not win a title with Russ as his primary ball handler. And I don't care what anybody says. There's more to it than what KD will ever say. And KD has a way of saying things and say, well, I didn't say that. That's not what I meant. Y'all don't know anything. Y'all just trying to keep stories alive. But there's no possible way you played that many years with one guy. That guy's on his way to, guess what, Skip? Another season in which he's had at least 25 triple-doubles. He's about to average triple-double for the 4th time in his career. And you played 8 years with that guy. You went to an NBA Finals with that guy. You had a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals on a team that was 73-9. And you forgot that he was a teammate? Forget how good he was. You just forgot he was a teammate. Come on, Skip, there's more to it than that. You and I both know that. So, hey, that's KD's list. You want to say Kyrie's the best player than James Harden and Steph Curry? I got no problem with the order. Although I disagree with it, that's his list. But to leave Russ completely off, that's not an accident. I don't care what anybody says, that's not an accident.
Okay, obviously, first point of order on his list, you can't put Steph above your two current teammates, right? You just can't do it.
Skip, the man got three.
You can't do it. You can't.
So just out of GP, you got to keep putting the guy there.
You just can't risk alienating either of your two teammates who are playing at their highest level.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, I can see that. I'll give you that.
Okay, now, back to Kevin Durant. There is no one in sports I enjoy psychoanalyzing more than I enjoy psychoanalyzing this man, Kevin Durant. Still believe he is the best player on this planet, but he just can't, at the moment, stay healthy.
Right.
That's a whole nother issue we'll get to in a little while.
Okay.
Now, was this an accident or not? There's a thing called a Freudian slip in which you inadvertently blurt something out that's deep down in your psyche.
Right.
This is more of a Freudian slip up, where you accidentally, quote unquote, forget something that you actually would like to forget that's stuck deep down in your psyche.
Correct.
So you can see his mind turning, and he's thinking, okay, Brooklyn, I got these two, and then I go over here to Golden State. Who was this? Yeah, the two Golden States. And then he goes to, okay, my first team was Oklahoma City. And the first name that wouldn't pop into your head, out of your psyche, wouldn't be Russell Westbrook. It would be Serge Ibaka.
Right.
Okay.
Is Serge better than Draymond?
All right, yeah. You know how I feel about Kevin. He's not happy unless he's unhappy.
Right.
He's not happy unless he's in the middle of some fire that he started on the internet that takes over the internet for about 24 hours.
Okay.
This has and this will.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be beefing with somebody. It might be you. It might be our guy, Michael Rappaport. It could be any number of people, but it's always somebody, some way, because that's how Kevin fuels himself.
Right.
I also think that he and Kyrie are so close that they actually love to start a media fire and then sit back and giggle while the internet burns to the ground over it, right? They do it on a weekly basis.
Right.
One or the other says something where everybody says, what? And here we go again. And they seem to thrive on it. They love this. So now back to my first quote unquote beef with Kevin Durant. This is back to the 2012 season. And it just flew into my psyche late last night and then early this morning when I saw that this had happened.
Right.
This is 2012, and I am the biggest Kevin Durant fan on the planet at this point, back to his year at Texas, in which I had raved on ESPN about this guy who's going to win multiple scoring titles in the league. And a lot of people on the show I did on ESPN laughed and scoffed at me for that. So I'm defending Kevin Durant, and all of a sudden, I don't know if I saw it at night or probably saw it the first thing in the morning, is that before a game in Oklahoma City, he had called over the beat reporter for the Oklahoman covering the Thunder and told him that I didn't know you-know-what about basketball because I was attacking his teammate, little Russell Westbrook. And it was actually a brilliant strategy on Kevin's part because he was trying to make it work with Russell. At a time they were at a flashpoint, and it was starting to develop into an almost can't live with conflict. And remember, 2012, they ended up going to the finals. But during the 2012 season, Russell Westbrook took 18.7 shots per game. Kevin took 17.7. And I'm saying he's so much better than that guy as a scorer. You know, Russ is, he plays 1,000 miles an hour. We get that. He's going to, it was clear at that point he could average a triple-double. But he's going to get you pretty much double digits, especially rebounds at that point, and the assists would climb a little bit later. But the point was, he's taken one more shot a game than Kevin freaking Durant. Well, on a daily basis, I was criticizing Russell Westbrook for doing that. And then Kevin turns and bites the hand that I thought was feeding him, me, and said, I don't know bleep about basketball. What? And I was dumbfounded by it, but I didn't know what Kevin's MO would be down the pike
Right,
a little bit,
right.
this was going to be commonplace
Right,
for Kevin.
right.
Because as we always laugh,